So in this video, we are going to be finding the perimeter, okay, of this square. Now, this square has measurements that are algebraic expressions. So we have 2 times 3x plus 4 equals 10x. So before I can find the perimeter, I have to know the value of x. But because this is a square, I know that this length and this length are equal because a square, the length of the sides of a square are all the same. Therefore, I have an equation. So I could set up an equation that says 2 times 3x plus 4 equals 10x. Okay, and with this equation, then I can solve the value of x. This first part right here, I'm going to need to distribute the 2 to both of these terms. So I'm going to multiply 2 times 3x and 2 times the plus 4. When I do that, I get 6x plus 8 equals 10x. Now I want to get my x's together on one side and my constants together on the other side. So one way to consider it is that I'm going to have to move this 10x over, and it's going to become the opposite, which is negative 10x. And I'm going to need to move this 8 over, and it's going to become the opposite, which is negative 8. So I'm going to end up with an equation that says 6x minus 10x equals negative 8. Okay, so that's the same as saying I subtract 8 from both sides or I subtract 10x from both sides. All right, so now I can combine my like terms. 6x minus 10x is negative 4x, and then that equals negative 8. And then to finally solve for x, it's being multiplied by negative 4, so I'm going to use the inverse or the opposite operation and divide by negative 4. And when I divide by negative 4, I realize that x equals positive 2. Well, if I know that x equals 2, then I can plug that in to these expressions, and I'm going to determine the side length. And, of course, it's going to be the same, all right? And then once I know a side length, I can multiply it times 4 to get the perimeter, okay? So let me maybe just kind of shrink some of this information here. All right, so let me plug in my values. So 2 times 3 times 2, that's my x value that I just plugged in, plus 4, okay? Well, in my parentheses here, I have 3 times 2, which is 6. So now I have 2 times 6 plus 4. And inside the parentheses, 6 plus 4 is 10. So now it is 2 times 10, which equals 20. And then we could look real quick here. 10 times 2 is also 20. So we know we solved it correctly. But if all 4 sides are 20 and I want to find the perimeter, then I could just multiply 20 times 4, which equals 80. So the perimeter of this square is 80, okay? And that's how you use algebra, by setting up equations to determine x and eventually find the perimeter of a square.